Hello again. How are you guys? So today we're going to talk about adventure and extreme sports. Let's write it down on the board. Adventure and extreme sports. So I'd like to firstly to connect the previous lesson with adventure. So who can remind me about the previous lesson subject? Martin? Yeah, that was about travel. So do you think they are interconnected to each other? Do you think that travel includes some kind of adventure? What's the relationship between travel and adventure? So you talked about your, I think it was Jasmine Park travel. So was there some kind of adventure during your trip? For example, you trekked there, right? There were some animals, habitats that you didn't know. Yeah, those kinds of things might happen as well. So, what other types of adventure-related issues might happen during your travel? For example, culture shock. When you travel for a little bit longer time period, then the culture shock is something like inevitable, right? It's unavoidable because you are new to the country, you're new to the, let's say, people, and you don't know their culture, and you do something, maybe just like the United States and the United Kingdom, if you are a professional driver, but in Great Britain, as you know that you don't have to ride on the left side, but the right side of the road in these two countries. These are the differences. Therefore, it might have some culture shock issue on the travelers. All right, let me just have a look at your handouts. That's whatever we're going to deal with today. So, what kind of activities in the adventure? There's so many activities that you can be involved. And what kind of activities would you like to talk about that you have indeed in your life so far you're involved? All right. So you'd like to go to the parachuting, paragliding, and there's similar. All right. Absorbing. And Jennifer, you'd like to abseil. Abseiling. Does anybody know anything about abseiling? Alright, let's have a look at the Wikipedia. It says here that abseiling, also known as rappelling from French repeller, to recall or to pull through, is a controlled descent of a vertical drop such as rock waves using a rope. So it's quite adventurous. Are you an adventurous person? Do you consider yourself an adventurous individual? Alright. So now I'd like you to think about your past. What kind of adventures do you think that was most impressive for you so far? So whatever you're going to state in this regard, just think in your mind. But when we talk about this, we need to use past tenses, right? So because everything happened before now and it has nothing to do with now, or maybe sometimes it might be related. So we're going to talk about the past tenses in terms of our grammatical point of view. So we have past simple tense, past progressive tense. Okay, in America we call it progressive, but in the rest of the world it's called continuous tense. The actions in progress, which is it continues in this case. So we have the perfect tense and perfect continuous tense in the past. So what do they mean? Let's just quickly briefly overview all these tenses. Past simple. When you hear past simple, it's just about the action happened in the past and started and ended in the past. Okay, and there's no relationship with now. In that case, we use past simple tense. we have irregular words and regular words. Okay, and when we want to use the verb in the past tense, for the regular means that there is a specific rule that we add d or ed. Okay, for example, I like to invite my friends to the party, so I I invited my friends to the party. Okay, see. It seemed like it was going to rain. Okay? We just add D or ED at the end of the word in order to make a past word. And in terms of irregular, which means that it's not regular, there's no any discipline that we can abide by. So, for example, go in the past, we say went, or come, came. Or sometimes there's no even change, like put. So put. I put it here now. I'm putting it here now. Or I put it here yesterday. I will put it here tomorrow. Okay, there's no change in the use of put. So when we talk about the past tense, it means that it happened in the past and that's all. But if we talk about the past continuous, it means that at a specific time frame, okay, this is very important. With those time limits, the action, the activity was in progress, that was continuing. For example, when, let's say, James entered the classroom, I was talking, okay? The structure is the same, the present continuous, only the difference is B is not M-is-R, as it was in the present continuous, but here the past form of B should be used here. By the way, B is the irregular word because its past form is not be, but it is be was were. Was is used for first and third single persons, like I was, he, she, it was, but were is used for the rest, which means the plural, like we were, you were, they were. Alright? So, and afterwards we use Gerald. I was talking about something. Or we can say, while we were reviewing the assignments, the director came in. Alright? Also, we have the perfect tense. Past perfect. When you see perfect, it means that the action has already finished. Past perfect means the action has already finished before another action in the past. Let's have a look at the timetable. Okay, this is now, this is past, and before this action, if something happened and finished there, we use past perfect tense. And the structure of past perfect tense is had plus verb 3, okay, or participle form. For example, the participle form for go, went is gone. Put, and put. There's no change in put, as I said before. And come, came, and again come. Okay, had come. For example, I had come here before 9 o'clock. Okay? So, 4 hours ago it was 9 o'clock and I even had come. Okay, I had come here, I had come to the classroom before 9 o'clock. It means that there was action or the certain time in the past, and before that something happened, then we say it had happened. Okay, for example, before World War II, we had already invented the telephone, maybe, or the television, whatsoever. Alright? And past perfect continuous. Now we're combining continuous and perfect. So past perfect continuous means that if something is about to finish in the past, but during that period, it was in the continuous form we use ing, as the continued activity. So we have been reviewing. We've been reviewing the assignments when the director, before the director came in the classroom. Okay, so in that if this action was in progress, then we say we're being reviewed. But if we have to say we're reviewed, in that case it's going to be the action was completed.